Hey loves, I'm sharing how I woke up today in humbling anguish from having dreams for the last few days with my former husband, and I transmuted that into an incredible full body orgasm that transmuted that shame into the confidence I have to come here in this platform and share something that's so personal and so intimate. But I believe it's nature of my work. So let me take you through the process step by step so that you may try for yourself and do the same, having full body energy orgasms that transmute pain and grief and anguish into confidence, into radiance, into love embodied. To explain the context, for the ones who have been following me on my channel or on my newsletters, you know that since I published my book on uncoupling, talking about my multiple divorces last December, I have been on the public eye talking to people who are going through rupture, who are going through divorce, and talking about my personal experience, which is terrible breakups, and how they became great in my life, what was a process of integrating the pain and transforming them into something positive. And it's humbling that I'm putting myself out there as someone who have already overcame, and I can be here as an example in a way. And then when I'm preparing for my first live masterclass online, I've done many workshops in person, but online, it gets on my nerves that there's so many technical things and automations and logistics to take care of, and how to show up online, and how to talk about things that are often taboo and that evoke so much of criticism, and put myself out there vulnerable, sharing something that honestly most people don't even talk about. Understanding that when we bring it to the light, we then have opportunity to make it into a healthy rite of passage, a healthy phase, so to say. This video is completely unscripted because it really happened today, and I went through, will I share this? If I start putting it on a script and then sharpening on what is allowed, not allowed to talk about, and then I put it online, it might end up becoming soulless, as I've seen that sometimes I come up as. And I don't want that. I want it to be authentic to my experience. I want to take you step by step, because you going through a breakup, going through the lonely nights, going through the pain, the shame, and the shape-shifting, remaking yourself, and all the logistics that comes with being over your dreams and relationship and starting anew. I want a tool. It's like I can literally give to you with something that really, really transformed me. So let's get to it. I have thought that I was over, that I have already transmuted and worked with a wonderful team of therapists and counseling and all I needed to be over my former relationship, which was the hardest to divorce. I shared that in my book, Uncoupling Reimagined. So I call him Unicorn. You see in my book, I always say, do not be talking about ex, to rather call them by names. So I was like, I'm over Unicorn, this is it. I can really come up and talk about it and support others because it's processed. And then this last few days, I started having those dreams, and at first I was like, oh my God, how can I show up there talking about how I have overcome my multiple divorces, and I'm here going through this missing and this grief and these doubts and this pain. And then it happened again, and I came and I prepared all these slides and the amazing process of breath work and intentional self-pleasure that I'm guiding through for the ones who will attend the live masterclass, and afterwards for the Breakup Reset 10-week series. So I'm so excited in sharing, and then I'm also being faced with, but you literally, before turning the camera on, you were literally in this reminiscent of thoughts and discomfort. Well, I went to sleep super excited that the slides and everything for the masterclass are ready. And then I spent the whole night dreaming of memories, reliving memories of amazing sexual encounters with unicorn. So I'm waking up and I'm still not opening my eyes, and I'm touching the bed sheet, and I'm realizing that I'm on this double bed by myself, and I'm holding the pillows, and I realize there's no warmth of a body as much as I felt in the dream. And I'm going through, oh no, it wasn't real. It's over. That's it. Nothing but memories, and it's never gonna happen again. And I also go back in the dream because I'm still feeling that warmth in my pelvis, and I'm still feeling some juices flowing, and I'm still feeling that embrace that was so real in the dream. And I'm in this national park on a cliff. View is of whales and sea, and behind is all woods. The weather is fantastic. I just came from a hike. We have had lots of sex through this road trip that we were on. We were in pure bliss and oxytocin and all this lovey-dovey phase of our relationship. And we are looking at the sun on the sea and this breathtaking view in front of us, and we're getting aroused, and we are like cuddling, and we just start having sex there and there. And I go back in the feeling in the body, how it is, and I notice that my pelvis is having these micro movements responding to a swirl that I'm feeling like on my perineum and inside my pelvis, and I'm feeling that. And then comes the thoughts of, oh, get out of this, he's gone, and that's no more unicorn, like, that's not suitable, don't go down that lane. And then I notice my body is really enjoying, and I'm still having my eyes closed, I'm still in between, I'm starting scanning my body, and I notice that I feed on the thoughts, and it gets harder to breathe, and I start getting turned off, and then I focus on this swirl going into my pelvis, and it gets pleasurable and yummy. And I could just use that sexual energy as a coping mechanism and, just get on with this and discharge and be a hypocrite and showing up here and talking about something else. Or I could get into the thoughts and just woke up and just some sort of journaling or some sort of talking, or maybe book an extra session with my therapist and try to deal with still having this unresolved. Or I have a very fresh what I've been preparing for this breakup reset that is about transmuting from heartbreak to becoming a better lover and a confident person based on focusing on your sexual mastery, using your sexual energy for this transmutation. So I'm like, let me walk the talk. So I'm still there, and I'm sitting with both existing inside of me, and I start pendulating. So I allow a little more of the turn on, and I'm seeing those vivid images of, you know, our genitals together and us having this, I can't use words in here to explain what's happening, but you get what the act is like. And then I'm going back to my mind that is having many parts all talking at the same time. And I allow myself to relax and melt more into my pillows. And I allow the micro movement of my pelvis to take more intensity. I allow signs and sounds to come in either direction that I'm going through, either through the anger and frustration and sadness or through the pleasure. And I allow those sounds and moans to come. And as I'm becoming one in between two in this pendulation, I sit with, this is my body experience. My body lived this sex with him. My body is living this again now. This is mine. And I reclaim, and I allow more relaxation that comes with this reclamation. And then the swirl just gets more intense, and I'm now having this coming up to upper pelvis and lower belly. And this swirl is changing colors, and there is more juices, and there is more of this energy going through, and it's taking more space, and I'm relaxing more. And I look at my hands, I notice my fingers were tensed. I allow them to relax more, and I listen to a part. I ask the others to be quiet. I listen to the one speaking loudest, and it's telling me, you can live it again because unicorn is with someone else's. I'm like, I hear you. It must be hurtful to you to hear that. Yeah, and it's our body. We can just enjoy. Can you join in? It's delicious. It's us. That unicorn is still ours forever. Whereas he moved on in his life, this is our experience. The part agrees and joins in, and then it goes more in the lower belly, and I'm intentionally visualizing that swirling while I'm feeling it, and I'm going up in my belly, and I'm just having micro movements and allowing it to sound, and I go, and it goes and goes, then it reaches my solar plexus, and there's another part, and this other part is telling me, oh well, but then what about these road trips, and what about, you know, those matching outfits and all those things that you can really do without him, because it's just not the same. And I bring back a little more turn on my pelvis. I touch myself, and I allow that to swirl up, and then I bring it more to the solar plexus, and then I invite that part to surrender to this. Allow more relaxation, and then that gives more space, and my solar plexus start also orgasming, and I'm just surrendering and enjoying you. As long as I don't even know how long it took, I'm losing time and space. The parks are there, the cars is there, I can drive, and there will be other experiences. It really doesn't matter now, does it? What matters now is what I'm feeling in this moment. It's mine. And then I bring that up, and then suddenly it comes in my heart and becomes so intense, because there is grief, and there is pain, and there is pleasure, and there is this sexual energy like going through everywhere. And it's like, and I'm allowing this to move me, and I'm allowing it to grow, and I'm staying present with the parts, and they're just not so concerned about their pain anymore. But I noticed that the heart space, there's some sort of difficulty in opening, so I'm allowing more relaxation. I'm intentionally bringing, sometimes I'll touch myself and let it come more and more, and then I will be here again and allowing and giving some of my own heart to back to me and moving it through, relaxing into it and let it juice and flow and bringing it, and allowing the sounds to do this moving with me, and the parts are just surrendering, and I'm enjoying more, and I bring it up my throat, put my tongue up on my palate so it can move through my tongue, and I'm swirling, and when it reaches the center of my head, it's literally a mind blow. Colors and shapes and sounds and flavors and textures start flowing, and there's like waves everywhere, and I'm very relaxed with that because I'm very familiar. If that's the first time it ever happens to you, it's normal to feel that there's something wrong. Trust me, it's nothing wrong, nothing will happen. If you surrender, it's only getting better. And then I'm losing all this notion of beingness, and I'm becoming anything and everything, and nowhere and everywhere, and it's going through. And I don't know for how long I stayed, and I just stayed living and feeling that, and honestly it stayed with me for the whole day until now. I earlier had a sensual dance and a striptease to myself, and I had some self-pleasure because it stayed with me, and it's delicious. And breakfast felt like a feast, and then cuddling my pet felt ecstatic, and it's just been beautiful. So that's the raw experience, and that's how I coexist with the duality, and that's how I don't really need to outsource to substances to access what they were supposed to give me. And that's how I can show up in the world through thick and thin, feeling like a goddess, and allowing my emotions through. And later on, a couple of hours later, when I was in self-pleasure, I thought that I was going to have another one of those moments, and I allowed my body, and I relaxed, and I ended up having an anger orgasm. Because there was still a lot there, like there was tension on the joints, there was this grief, there was this frustration, and there's the stories of the moments that weren't so nice between Unicorn and I. You know, it's like, imagine if I can reach out to my pharmacy and take a pill that will give me orgasms instead of headaches, but not to run away, but instead to literally allow my body to have this somatic releases spontaneously without needing a therapist that's going to tell me, oh, you need to move this, oh, it's time to open your jaw, because it's all happening there through this sensual dance within me. And yeah, this is it. This is how it was. When I have opportunity to be on live conversations, I can explain so much more, because there's the limitations of the words I can use and movements I can do in this public platform. After tomorrow on the live masterclass, I will be sharing 3 techniques for free to be yours, to support you through this, and I will go a little more sensual, a little more sexual in the explanation. And of course, you can have your camera off and just enjoy yourself through, or not. You can have access to the recording later and just really be present with what comes up, knowing that there is a container of safety in that transmission. Yeah, this is how I turned waking up in despair after a sexual dream with my former husband into a fantastic day and multiple orgasms and clarity and purpose and relaxation within. And that's what I mean when I'm talking about having capacity for pleasure. I know sometimes I use like technical terms and may not make sense, but I hope this experience supports you to understand a little more of what I meant. Yeah. let me know what you think. Let me know your comments. Reach out. I'm at service. I didn't have anybody explaining that to me when I needed, and I'm so glad I can now be there to support people going through breakups, to encounter the power that their body and human experience gives to them. Yeah, thanks.